Hey y'all, it's Alexander the Great here. Ooh. I have been wanting to start a vlog. I've been wanting to do more with my YouTube channel that's mostly just like a personal archive for me. Because I've got a lot of things I want to share, knowledge and tips I want to pass on to others and the next, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this, the next generation coming up. So hi, I'm Alexander, and I'm gonna be making videos about talking about just like drag, performance, career, that sort of thing. I do want to keep it mostly performance related. I'm an MC, an aerialist, a drag performer, a dancer, a vocalist. I play guitar, classically trained dancer, tap dancer. I started my dance training before the age of 3, and I'm 33 now, so literally 3 decades with dance and performance experience. I was a competitive dancer. I also did competitive cheerleading, acrobatics, tumbling. I danced in college, and then I started my aerial training with pole at the age of 22. And then I found burlesque at age 23, found drag at age 26, and yeah, here I am. Like I said, I'm 33. I am a proud gay man of transgender experience, so I will be talking about some of those things in relation to, how my identity and intersectionality comes into play when I perform, because I'm also a drag king in Austin, Texas, which is not a fun place to be queer. Austin's good. Austin's good, has room for improvement, which I do work as a commissioner. I serve as a commissioner on the LGBTQ Quality of Life Commission that serves Austin City Council. So I am involved in my community because I do care about making it better. So Austin is good. There's room for improvement, but that's okay. We're doing the work. But Texas is not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And drag is radical. Not only is it art, but it's also an industry. So it borders a fine line, along the lines of music and being a working artist, professional painter, muralist, things like that, musician, whatever. So it's tricky. It's a tricky industry. So I want to be your stage daddy. Let me be your stage dad. Let me pass on some of my experience and wisdom to you. So if you're down, I'm your stage dad now. Hi. I care about you and your success. Now that you know a little bit about me and who I am, what I'm doing, what we're doing here. Yeah, let's get started. Today we are rhinestoning. I figured we would start with something basic. So, also, side note, these videos aren't going to be fancy or really even edited. So I'm just trying to get the information out there. Yes, but I'll be fun, hopefully, to watch. I'll be animated. I'll give you a cute little show. Yes, but mostly we're here to learn. Okay. So we're gonna rhinestone. I have the costume that I'm rhinestoning laid out in front of me. Because it is made of mesh, a very thin material. I do have like a plastic lining in between the costume to protect the glue from going to the other side. Oh, hell, I just realized I don't have my tweezers with me. I started filming before I was completely ready. Oh, no. Okay, well, we're gonna pause for the cause. Okay. Oh, yes. All right. Cool. All right. Now that we have everything, let's move on. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about rhinestoning, learn to rhinestone today, and then I'm also just gonna give some just some tips for the up and coming superstar. These tips are appropriate for anyone at any point in their performance career, but specifically geared towards performers with 1 to 2 years experience and or performers who have been in the scene for a minute and feel like they've hit a plateau or that they are kind of stuck at one level of their career and want to take it to the next level. Yeah, I have performed in over 20 different drag and burlesque festivals. I hold the title of Mr. Austin Entertainer of the Year. I was Mr. Austin Pride 2022. When I was a teenager, I was Miss Teen Austin 2007. Yes, remember, I'm trans. I was Miss Teen Austin 2007. Then I was Miss Teen America third runner-up 2008. I've won national dance titles and competitions. Yeah, but as far as recently, yeah, Mr. Austin Pride, Mr. Austin Entertainer of the Year, and I've been a finalist twice for Austin's Best Drag Performer by the Austin Chronicle. Yeah, cool. So that's all just to say, I don't know everything. I'm still learning, but I do know a thing or two, and I want to pass that along. Okay. Yeah. I was a full-time working entertainer for 3 years until I like got burnt out in a way that was detrimental to my mental health. So I still perform and very much have an active performance career with a show, my own show every Friday night. But it's okay to not have your art form, your passion be your primary source of income. In fact, I suggest having multiple sources of income, because that's what, if you think about it, that's what like big, super famous, successful, whatever people do anyway. They have clothing lines, makeup lines, TV shows, podcasts, albums, singles, movies, documentary, whatever. They have multiple sources of income, right? So why would you think that having only one source of income would be sensible, right? You know, if you think about it that way, you're like, oh yeah, like Rihanna's got Fenty, she's got the makeup, she's got her albums, everything. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, sorry, I'm a little distracted. What I'm doing right now, I use Fabrifuge, by the way. Oh, wait. Fabric Fusion is what this is called. You can get this at, like, Michael's. I use this. I used to use E6000, but that stuff is, like, you're not supposed to use it technically without, like, a respirator and, like, all your windows open and whatnot, because it's, like, very toxic. But if you need to like stick stuff to things that aren't fabric, E6000 is pretty good for that, but just be safe about using it. Fabric Fusion, however, is does not have like all the chemicals and whatever else. And I like to use it because it stays tacky a little bit longer, so I can put more glue down and then put the stones down. So I'm gonna start, this costume has 3 pieces, but I'm gonna start with doing what I call just like a little sprinkle, meaning I'm gonna place glue dots like every 2-3 inches apart, and then put the glue dots, or put the rhinestones on those glue dots. And then later when I like when I rhinestone all the pieces, then I'll go back and I'll fill in. So I do it in cycles, layers, however you want to see it. So anywho, and then you can use like just like one of those little like nail tool things that like nail technicians use to like put stones and things on nails, but I prefer using tweezers because I like the grasp and like the control of it and like being able to like move them better. I feel like with the tool, it's just like a pick up and put down motion, whereas tweezers, I feel like I have more control of the movement and the placement of the stone. Okay, cool. So here we go. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, here we go. Actually, let's try this one. Okay, so let's talk some hot tips for up-and-coming entertainers. Just to put it in perspective, as I mentioned earlier, I've had a lifelong performance career, like as far as like performing and like training and taking classes and everything. I didn't start getting paid. You become a professional when you start getting paid to do what you do. I didn't start getting paid until, yeah, I became an aerialist and started burlesque. So I've been a professional entertainer for a decade, 11 years. Oh my God, 11 years. And it takes so much work to like, especially starting from the ground up, like you're coming out of thin air essentially. Like it takes so much. My Instagram for the longest time, like for like 2 years, I feel like had like 36 followers. Maybe not 2 years, maybe like 6 months. I had like 36 followers. Maybe it was a year. I don't know. It was a long time. Yeah, and like that's okay. Just keep doing the work. Don't compare yourself to other people. Everyone's process is going to be different. Also, there's a lot of things that you need as a professional. Having a website, having a press kit, having studio photos, not shots at the bar done by a professional photographer. Yes, those are helpful. I'm talking studio photos with a background, with studio lighting, with big lights on you. You being still, and doing photos like that, like good quality, like headshots, body shots, cute poses, showing off your looks, your makeup, spend good time, looking real good that day. If you wear wigs, make sure the lace is down. I say that because that's something I run into. I wear wigs like 30-40% of the time. That's generous. If I'm being cosmic, I wear wigs all the time. Alexander only wears wigs every so often. But anyways, make sure your lace is glued down, right? That's something that I have to tell myself. Or I use wig tape, actually. So make sure my tape is down. If it's not, then I will use glue. But yeah, make sure you look good. Get studio photos. Also professional video of your performances if possible. Not like cell phone, Instagram clips that are 30 seconds, 60 seconds long, like full acts videos of you performing so producers can see what you do. Don't just expect them to know you and your style, especially if you're new. And also, even if they have seen you, there are 10,000 drag performers. That's another thing. The scene is extremely saturated, okay? So like there are 10,000 drag performers and 30-40 drag shows, okay? So there's not going to be enough room at this point in time. Also, drag is very niche. Like not everyone is obsessed with drag, which crazy, I know they should be, but like it's very niche. So, keeping that in mind, it's not like being a pop star or like doing music or whatever, which, there's also 100,000 bands. But I feel like, with music, there's more avenues for success. Drag, we only just now started seeing drag happening in brunches and story times and libraries and, things like that. So I think, yeah, understanding that it's still not an underground art form, but it's just now making its way to the mainstream. So there will naturally still be less opportunity, but more people who want to do it, especially with Drag Race and Dragula and Camp Wanakiki and all of these success of these drag reality shows, which is great. But again, now a lot more people are seeing drag, a lot more people are wanting to do drag, and there's not necessarily more spaces for drag to happen. And in fact, we are still losing our like spaces. Okay, here's where we're at so far. I don't know if y'all can see. Bow, bow, bow. Anywho, yeah. So just keep in mind it's saturated. Yeah. Also practice, 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 practice. Watch videos of yourself back. Like, how did it look? Were you missing your words on your lip sync? Were you looking down? Were you, I don't know. What was going on? What were you doing? How was it going? Yeah. But watch yourself. Also, perform in front of mirrors. If you're like, I don't have like a whole studio, that's fine. At least do your lip sync in front of your bathroom mirror. Like, you can at least do that and look at yourself. Like, do you know the words? Are you giving? Like, be real. Like, be real with yourself. Look at yourself, be real with yourself. And yes, my advice is that if you feel silly, if you're like, oh my God, I feel freaking ridiculous, that means you're doing it right, okay? Pro tip, you're welcome. Because that's going to save you. That's going to take you to the next level. You have to give. You have to feel a little bit ridiculous. Think of your favorite performers and like the energy they give. For me, my number one, just to give an example, is Freddie Mercury. I love his energy in his music, in his how he performed, like watching his videos, and like I will channel that. Like Freddie would be like, ah, and so you will see me lip syncing like, ah, doing bending backwards, like you're like, oh my gosh, that feels so extra. Well, yes, that's what drag is. It's it's giving, no matter what it is, whether it's horror, sadness, telling a story, laughter, stupidity, joy, just whatever, love, whatever. You gotta give a lot. Also, have some signature routines and polish them. Like, don't just be cranking out new stuff after new stuff after new stuff. Pick 2 to 4 when you're coming up. If it's been a few years, like, you can expand your signature act arsenal, but have 2 to 4 signature acts that you just know the music front and back. Your costume looks amazing, whether it's like it fits well or it's rhinestoned or whatever. Make sure your shoes are not street shoes if you can. Like, or if they are, rhinestone them. Do some, like, change something about them. Like, it takes it out of the performance when it looks like someone just walked up. If that's the, okay, I want to be careful because all drag is valid and I want to encourage all types and styles of drag, but what's the intention behind it? Okay, so I think about the intentionality. Is the intention that you look like you walked off of the street and you're performing? If so, then what story are you telling with the look? If it's just, oh, these were the clothes that I have, so this is what I'm performing in, then I'm not down with it. But if you're like, oh, this look matches because it goes with my mix, it goes with the story that I'm telling, I'm like, it's a mood, it's a vibe, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. That's drag. It's got a purpose. It's got an intention behind it. So think about that. What's the intention? What's the purpose behind what you're doing, behind the movement, behind the song, behind your looks, behind all of it, right? And rhinestones aren't expensive. If you're paying a lot of money for your rhinestones, you're probably not getting them from a decent place. I have a rhinestone supplier on Etsy. She's based out of North Houston, and she has every single kind of color, size, whatever rhinestone you could need and or want. um, for super affordable, and I buy them in bulk, and it's great. Like thousands at a time. And it's not very much at all. So, it really doesn't take that much to like oomph up or just to add something, accessorize, you know, you know. Also, look at how your mug looks from the back or like in general. Like my mug was not good for a very, very long time, and I'm still working on it. I still experiment with stuff. I still try new things. I still practice. Like, I still practice my makeup, and I have been doing drag since December 2015. Yeah, and it's 2024 now. Geez. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. My mug. That's not good. Anyway, I'm gonna throw some over on the other side. So, like, look at it. How does it look from the back? How people show you video or take photo or whatever? Like, is it clear? Like, is it just kind of murky? Like, is it like what's going on? So yeah, and it's okay to like take a look at yourself and be like, okay, wow, because I've done that so many times. You should be looking at photos of your, every few months, you should be looking back and being like, oh, wow, like like I do this differently and like I have changed this and, this, like there should be whatever, unless you're, until you reach that point where you're like, okay, like this is my mug, it's perfected, boom. But like, I don't know, I feel like we're always a work in progress, right? At least for me, like, my mug has evolved so much. It's improved so much. Mug meaning my makeup, by the way. Yeah, and so I think it's okay to be at a place with makeup where it's just like an ever-evolving process, right? We teach each other things, drag trends in makeup and hair and styling are a thing. So yeah. Okay. I'm gonna rhinestone this other leg, and then this particular glue needs 2 to 4 hours to set. So I'm gonna let it set, and then I can do the other side. But like I said, this costume has 3 pieces, so I can also rhinestone the other pieces while these are drying. So, yeah. Okay. So, younger entertainers, be patient, go to shows, learn from people, watch videos, take classes, get professional photo. A selfie is not going to cut it for like professional photos and for getting booked. Like a lot of entertainers get stuck and they're like, what's going on? And I look at their Instagrams and I'm like, I don't see one professional photo on here. On the whole, I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. These are all selfies. These are all like cell phone videos. Like, if you want people to take you seriously, you got to take you seriously. You got to treat you like a business. Like, what would you buy what you're selling? Would you buy what you're selling? Are you proud to serve what you're serving? Would you buy what you're serving? So, yeah. When I book drag, that's because I'm literally buying what it is that they're serving. That's one of the things that I love about being a show host and booking my cast and special guests is yeah, if I book you, I'm buying what you're selling. I'm into it. I love it and I want people to see it. So yeah, if you're not getting booked, ask yourself what's going on. What's going on? And it's okay to like take a hard look at yourself, but you don't need to be, I want to encourage you don't be self-deprecating, right? Like, and I'm going to talk about a fine line here in a moment. There is no need to be self-deprecating. Like, everyone's art is different, and you are fantastic and you are valid. It's just, this is a hard ass industry. And that's what I'm trying to get folks to understand, is that this shit is hard. We make it look easy when we're performing because that's the point. That's the whole point. But like, I literally go to the chiropractor every week. I see a physical therapist and personal trainer. I take Epsom salt baths. Like, I see a therapist every week. I try to take the weekends off, and just do my show on Friday nights, because like, I need rest, and taking care of yourself is an undervalued part in this industry. It's not talked about, but you have to take care of your own mental, physical, and emotional health in this industry. So yeah, so do that. And also understand that, yeah, you don't need to be self-deprecating. Everyone has a process, and everyone's journey and length of time is going to be different. Also, if you hate it, if you absolutely hate drag, you don't have to do it. Like, that's the thing, is that it's like, sometimes we hit rough patches or creative blocks or, burnout as a performer or as an artist, whatever. And in those moments, it's okay to take a break, and it's okay to even quit and come back to it later, right? But if you like hate it and you are miserable, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Find something else that you enjoy, or just give yourself a break. If you're hating something, then you need some time. You need some time to recover, to heal, and yeah. So I do think that that's the fine line. Like, if you're just miserable and you're, then don't stay doing something that makes you miserable, right? But if you're like, I love drag, it brings me complete joy being out there doing my thing, sharing my art with people, like, yes, I don't care about, the drama. I just wanna do my thing. Then, like, yeah, stick around, take a break, take a breath, and understand that hard times happen to all of us. I have experienced burnout multiple times, and burnout so bad to the point of it causing me major mental distress and having to go on psychiatric medication, because of how bad it was exacerbating my depression and anxiety. So yes. Yeah. So thanks for letting me share about my mental health. I have a great doctor who's been working with me on my meds, and that's helpful. So yeah, literally take care of yourself, take your medication. If you hate it, quit or take a break. If you want to come back to it later, that's okay. But take care of yourself and be patient. And yeah, I did not get my first cast spot and my first weekly cast spot until literally 6 months, 6 years, 6 months. Could you imagine? Some of these entertainers do get cast spots after 6 months, though. And that's why I'm like, good for you, but that's does not happen. That's not the norm, okay? That does not usually happen. For me, it was 6 years. I got my first cast spot December 2021, and then started my show Kingdom, got my weekly show February 2022. So I have had a weekly show for over 2 years now, which is where I've learned a lot of things as well, a lot about what I will be talking about in my videos. Because again, I want to pass down my experiences, my wisdom, and also just help put things in perspective for you, because it's hard and there's not a lot of ways to navigate this industry easily. So if I can help make it, if I can help make it easier for up and coming entertainers or entertainers who have been around for a minute, by sharing my experience, then yeah. Also, if you have anything you want to like add or share in the comments, please do. If there's something you want to see me talk about, let me know. If you have questions for me, let me know. I have no idea how often I will be doing these videos, but I do want to be instilling and sharing with all of you. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's been 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's enough. That's enough out of me for today. But I'm gonna keep rhinestoning. Usually I'm a lot faster. I'm talking right now, and so I'm a little distracted. But I will say the best way to do it is put something on the telly, that you love, or like a favorite album. Um, and have it going on in the background, and that will help. Like, I'm actually able to work faster when I've got Bob's Burgers playing in the background. That's my favorite show. Okay. Favorite animated show. Okay. Anyways, if you've watched all of this, wow. Thank you. Hopefully you've learned something. And if you have something to share, like I said, let me know. Any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, let me know. Okay. It's been real. Thanks for listening to me. Y'all take care. Remember, you are loved, you are beautiful, you are valid. Cheers, queers.